Planet Vero Studio is powered by the Nolan Group of RE/MAX Associated Realty. MyNextHomeFinder.com.
It's time now for Mental Health Matters with your host, Lisa Reimer. Mental Health Matters is graciously underwritten by New Vision Eye Center, world-class eye care on the Treasure Coast. New Horizons thanks Dr. Paul Minotti, Dr. Stephen Tate, Dr. Robert Reinauer, and Dr. David O'Brien. Now, here's Lisa Reimer.
Mental health matters. You matter. And it turns out emotional well-being is one of the most important things. Mental health affects your thinking, your decision-making, your behavior, even your physical health. So this is really important. We talk about mental health. Hi, I'm Lisa Reimer. I'm the host of Mental Health Matters. I'm a communications officer for New Horizons of the Treasure Coast and Okeechobee. We're the largest mental health provider in this region, serving 15,000 children and adults through inpatient and outpatient programs. I'm in the studio today with my co-host and sidekick, Miss Katie Love.
Hello.
And through the magic of remote Zoom, Vimeo, which is two different companies, we are talking to Casey Wood, the program manager for the Student Assistance Program at New Horizons. We serve 20,000 children, students K through 12 in our Sept program. Hi, Casey.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
So thank you for being here. So this is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. Last show, we talked a little bit about the statistics. You can always look at our online archives at livestream.com/Planet Vero and find New Horizons. Or you can go to our Facebook page, New Horizons Mental Health. Or you can go to Planet Vero's. I think you archive them there too. We're also in the studio with Jesse. He's our engineer. And so, first of all, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in. This is a really important program, and we are not an infomercial or an advertorial. We are trying to provide credible information for you so that you understand your family, yourself, your neighbors, your coworkers, and not only what's going on with them, but have some real places to go to provide help. And New Horizons cannot be the answer to everyone. The demand is much greater than that. We talked about this. There are since COVID, 2 out of 5 Americans, 40% of Americans are dealing with mental health issues. So we will be bringing in people from other agencies, from private practices, so that you have a lot of options where to seek help. So, Casey, tell us a little bit about what the Student Assistance Program at New Horizons is.
The Student Assistance Program is a school-based substance abuse and bullying prevention program. We are based in St. Lucie County, in Indian River County, and in Okeechobee County. The bulk of our services are in St. Lucie County, but we serve 2 schools in Indian River County. It's, 3 technically, the Freshman Learning Center, Vero Beach High School, and Sebastian River Middle School, where we provide one-on-one prevention services. It's called indicated prevention counseling. We use evidence-based curricula. The 3 that we use the most are Too Good for Drugs, Too Good for Violence, and Botman Life Skills Training, and they're all great curricula that are approved by SAMHSA, which is the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. And I mean, we just love what we do. We love working with the kids. So it's a privilege to be a part of this program.
So let's start with what you do in St. Lucie County, working with the kids, and I think Okeechobee, starting with the younger kids and move up. And I know that we're just doing what we do in Indian River with the high school, but with the younger kids, how do we begin? This isn't the DARE program, is it? It's not the DARE program, correct?
Right. In St. Lucie County, our Too Good for Drugs program actually replaced the DARE program in the fifth grade classrooms. Florida has a mandate that requires that all fifth graders in each county in the public schools receives a substance abuse curriculum, prevention curriculum at some point during the school year. And so several years ago, before I started at New Horizons, and I've been here 9 years now, so it's been a while. St. Lucie County did some research and decided that because of the statistics in the county, they wanted to make some changes. And so one of those changes was to identify a new, to them, substance abuse prevention curriculum. They chose Too Good for Drugs with the Mendez Foundation. And since then, we have been providing classroom-based prevention services to all fifth graders in St. Lucie County. Aside from that, because that is our contract with the schools, we kind of start there in St. Lucie County every school year and make sure that we have availability in our schedules to provide all of those services. But from there, because we have established relationships with the schools, we're usually working with them pretty early in the school year to identify where their needs are. A lot of the younger grades receive the Too Good for Violence curriculum, which provides them with the ability to prevent bullying, conflict resolution skills. In kindergarten, they're learning how to be a peacemaker. So it really teaches them how to create a culture for the students of preventing issues that you don't want to see in a classroom, while also aiding them in having the skills that they need to avoid conflict or to resolve conflict when it is present. When you teach them that they want to be a peacemaker, when a student is acting out or treating them in a way that they don't want to be treated, you'll hear students say, "That's not peacemaker behavior. This is what we should be doing." And so it's really cool to see kids learning the skills and then implementing them in their own lives. With our classroom-based services, a huge benefit to that is that the teachers are typically in the classroom with us unless they have an emergency that they have to handle. But because the teachers are in the classroom, we're only in the classroom with the kids one time a week. So somebody else has to reinforce what the kids are learning the rest of the week when we're not there, except for, we do see them in the cafeteria or in the hallways or times like that, but we're not in the classroom with them beyond that one time per week typically. So for the teacher to be able to be in the classroom, learning the skills right along with the kids is invaluable. We have a lot of teachers that have worked with us for several years now that have seen the curriculum on a yearly basis, and so they're able to, even before we get started, they're already aware of the skills that the kids are going to be taught, and so they're right on board with implementing what the kids are going to be learning. So
yeah, I mean, my children, when they were in grade school and they attended the DARE program, they loved it. Did you go, Katie, the DARE program? Were you in that?
Yeah, so I did.
What elementary did you go to?
I went to Rosewood Elementary School, and they did the DARE program, I believe, in my 5th grade year around that time. And I remember they gave us like a t-shirt and like an officer came in to speak to us about everything. And I remember there's like the lion was the mascot. I can't say that I remember a lot about it, but it definitely was memorable in a sense. Did you have, prior to that, did you have any, like she was talking about, anti-bullying, anti-violence, peacemaking kinds of training? Not necessarily training, more of just the teachers, like very interactive with students and trying to disengage them from activities like that, making sure that everybody was polite to each other, sharing. There was never like, I went to a pretty well-end school, so nobody in my elementary school was super big on bullying each other. But I think that's also because a lot of the teachers did crack down on it pretty hard. Oh, that's good. Yeah. So like I didn't really grow up in an environment where bullying was huge in my environment. So Casey, then in the high schools, then how do you identify which students need one-on-one? Right. So since we provide prevention services,
a key part of the services that we provide is what's called problem identification and referral. And so it's really important for our prevention specialists to be able to know what type of services a student needs. They become really ingrained in their schools, working with the guidance counselors and the assistant principals and the principal and teachers alike. So they get a lot of referrals from the administrative team and then occasionally from teachers as well. A lot of times what they'll say is, I've got this student that I've identified as, because it's prevention, we're not working with kids that are in need of treatment or, are in need of an intervention. So maybe they're seeing a student that seems to have favorable attitudes towards drugs and alcohol, and they're trying to prevent them from going down that path. Or there's a student that does have a problem with bullying, whether it's a student that's a victim of bullying or that's already engaging in bullying. Then they may reach out to us and say, can you see if this student is appropriate for your services? So then we meet with the student and we screen the student, and that's a process with, getting information from them about their life, their interests, and, just kind of what's going on with the student. And from there, we make a recommendation. Do they need a higher level of care, or are they an appropriate fit for our services? And if they are in need of a higher level of care, we make sure to coordinate with the school and with the family to ensure that they get the help that they need. So it's a whole spectrum of making sure that we're working with the school and the students to get them the proper services. And, I know you mentioned that although this show is hosted by you, we're not always pointing people to New Horizons, and we do the same thing. It can be simple for us to refer into New Horizons, but it's more important to us that the family gets the help and the student gets the help that they need from a provider that is convenient for them, that they'll follow through with. So we're pretty familiar with the resources that are available in the community, and we make sure that they get connected to the service that they need.
Yeah, I want to reiterate that because I think that one of the most important things about a good therapeutic relationship is the fit, is that there's a fit. And so we don't want to just refer to our own people because it, creates business for us. We want people to have the right fit. And like Casey said, we work with everyone pretty much in a community. So the people who serve the Indian River County community, for instance, they know most of the therapists in the Indian River County, either through the collaborative or through, over the years, professional groups or trainings. And so we sort of know where to refer. And I think that across New Horizons, that is the case of us referring to the best fit for an individual. So,
right, absolutely.
Katie, I know at your high school, they don't have this program per se, but you have a contract.
Yes, we have to sign a contract at the very beginning of every school year. Essentially, it's saying that we will follow these set of rules throughout the entire school year, and we are upheld by it. A lot of it is a dress code and, how you act as others on your campus. And a lot of it is, a section of it is the drug testing, because we do have randomized drug testing at my school. But they are pretty forgiving with it. So if you do test positive for drugs, they seek out and get you help. And they work with you with a program to make sure that you're getting the help needed to try to prevent you from going down a path full of drugs. And then if you get caught with it again, they test you a lot more often, but then if you get caught with it again, then they kick you out of the school.
Okay, so we're going to take a break. And when we get back, we're going to talk a little bit about the adverse childhood experiences and childhood trauma that would lead a young person to be more likely to be participating in risky behaviors and taking drugs and alcohol. We'll be right back.
If you're not
Your mental health influences how you think, feel, and behave on a daily basis. Your mental health also affects your ability to deal with stress, overcome challenges, build relationships, and recover from life's setbacks and challenges. Whether you're facing a hardship, experiencing some kind of emotional turmoil, or simply looking to feel more positive and energetic, here are some ways to take control of your mental health today. Connect face-to-face with supportive people. Get moving with exercise in fun ways. Explore different techniques for managing stress. Fill your diet with omega-3 fats. Get 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night and invest in activities that give your life meaning and purpose. New Horizons can support you on your mental health journey as well as recovery from substance abuse. Learn how by calling 772-468-5600 or visit newhorizonstreasurecoastinc.org.
If you're not treating your water because you think salt bags are too heavy, here's a treat for you. Call Affordable Water and get free salt delivery with qualifying purchases. Let Affordable Water deal with the salt. You get to enjoy the crisp, clean, pure taste of affordable water right away. Get free salt delivery with qualifying purchases. Affordable Water.
Call 589-7677 for your H2O. Call the Pure Water Pros. Affordable water.
Are you becoming a realtor, contractor, mold remediator, guardian? In the state of Florida, these and many other industries require a Level 2 live scan background check for clearance to work in your industry. A1A Fingerprints is your certified live scan source from Broward to Brevard. And if you're a medical provider, you need to be registered on the ACA web portal. A1A Fingerprints will help you navigate and comply with the law. Call 772-494-6556 or visit a1afingerprints.com. A1A Fingerprints.
Welcome back to Mental Health Matters. If you're just joining us, I'm Lisa Reimer. We're in the studio with Ms. Katie Love.
Hi.
And we're remotely connected to Casey Wood, the program manager for the Student Assistance Program. You might want to turn that music down. Okay, and if you want to hear the first half of the show, we are on Facebook. We keep all of our archives on Facebook, or you can go to livestream.com/Planet Vero and find the New Horizons page. If you want to find out more about New Horizons and the Student Assistance Program, you can go online at www.nhtcinc.org. That's New Horizons Treasure Coast Inc.org. Or you can give us a call. So we have a main number listed on our website, but if you have a crisis call or you need some real direction right away, you can call our crisis line 24/7 at 772-468-3909, or you can call 211. We work together. Okay, so Casey, we ended the last segment with talking about high school kids and drug and alcohol prevention. Why don't you just talk a little bit about the ACEs, and then before we leave the show today, we need to talk about some of the telltale signs for drug addiction and suicide prevention.
So ACEs are adverse childhood experiences that, so it could be anything from a trauma that occurs in the life of a child. It could be as simple as coming from a single family home, or a child that struggles academically, or anything like that are considered adverse childhood experiences. And the research shows that that any of these adverse childhood experiences increase the likelihood that a child may engage in substance abuse in the future. Doesn't mean they will. It just puts them more at risk. And so it's really important that the caring adults in the life of a child pay attention to the risk factors that a child has, because we want to make sure that we are increasing their protective factors, which help to balance out those risk factors and put them less at risk of using substances. So that's like having more positive caring adults in their lives, being educated on the short-term consequences of using substances, having a positive school environment and, again, engaged adults in their lives, things like that. The more positive that we can put into a child's life, the less likely that they are to engage in risky behavior down the road.
Oh, that's just a wonderful way of saying it, because I kind of get like, some of to go a little bit, elaborate a little bit more, sexual abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, insecurity about food, insecurity about shelter. Someone in the family gets divorced, someone in the family goes to prison, someone in the family has alcoholism, someone in the family has mental illness, or someone in the family commits suicide. Those 10 things are really impactful, and I end up talking a lot about that. And you end up talking a lot more about the protective factors. And I love that.
Yeah.
So, and one of them being just a very supportive school environment. And, we do a breakfast with Santa in December, and that is why we do that, so that we can create wholesome memories in kids who may be at risk for those risk factors. So that was a good explanation.
Yeah, I think it's important to note that, every child is going to have some adverse childhood experiences. And it's important that we recognize that those are in their lives and that we're doing everything that we can to build them up, to teach them the skills and strategies that they need. Because the research shows that students that have the ability to make healthy decisions, and not just know what is the right decision, but to just be a critical thinker, to be able to consider what kinds of decisions they should make. How is this decision going to help me achieve my goals? What are the consequences of this decision? And that's not even just relating to substance use, but to be able to recognize that every single decision that they make has a consequence with it, both positive and negative, and identifying the decisions that they need to make to help them to be on the path that they want to be on. But then also having the ability to set a goal. Students that have goals, both short-term and long-term, are less likely to engage in risky behaviors because they don't want to have anything get in the way of those goals and dreams that they have. But students that are afraid to set goals, or don't know how to set goals, or don't have supportive adults in their lives to help them achieve goals are, they're a lot more likely to engage in those risky behaviors.
Yeah, so you kind of answer you kind of answer then, like, what are some of the things you look out for? Well, some of them are very obvious, but you don't even have to look out for them if you're already creating a supportive environment where the kid is empowered to make good decisions.
Right, absolutely.
So we have about 1 minute left. Do you have anything to leave parents with about how to empower their youth, K through 12?
Yeah, well, I think the most important thing is to talk to your kids. When you have, and it doesn't always have to be formal, where it can sometimes feel awkward for everybody if you're not used to doing that, but just going for walks and talking to them on walks, or when you have a few moments in the car, talking to each other instead of listening to the radio, or sitting around the dinner table as a family. Talking to our kids is just so important because it ensures that they know that they can trust us when they have something that is on their mind. Aside from that, ensuring that we're encouraging them and focusing on, obviously when you're a parent, there are things that you need to address that may not always be fun, but taking every opportunity to focus on the great things that they're doing, to build them up, to encourage them, because kids that have better self-confidence or higher self-confidence and believe that they can achieve are going to feel empowered and are going to believe that they can be successful.
Okay, thank you so much, Casey, for joining us. Katie, you are awesome as always. Yeah, and everyone, just take care of yourselves, take care of each other, be well. Mental health wellness, it really matters.